Hello guys, and happy Halloween! Sujara speaking. Welcome to episode 1774. Now, I was gonna react to Fairy OddGamer in Shadow's Generation with 09 episode on, let's say, this past last Saturday, but unfortunately due to the funeral service that's going on at the reception with my stepdad, I'll have to push it back till today, because it's Halloween! We have 2 episodes, reaction videos to the Fairy OddGamer episodes to do for the day, and then after this, expect to do, one of the reaction videos to Fairy OddGamer, including featuring Fiction Edition, on Alone in the Dark. And that'll be coming in the next episode. So let's react to the episode that I was going to do last Saturday on Shadow Generation with 09. Beginning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Just a reminder, because I have popcorn with me while I'm taping this episode.
Thank you.
Wow. Swear. Okay? Well, I'll give them Shadow Generation. Title card design is Joy Animations. Wow, okay, let's continue on. Nice anime cartoon difference. Continue on. Special guest reviewer 09. Continue on.
Hello, internet viewers. I'm the Fairly OddGamer. Well, there's no time to waste. Let's get started with the other side of Sonic Generations. That, of course, being Shadow Generations.
Meanwhile.
Uh-oh. It's locked. There we are. Wow.
Ah, there you are. Chaos Control!
Wow.
Did you really think that little stunt would stop me?
Yes?
Foolishness, Lucas. Foolishness.
Wow.
With a Chaos Emerald's power.
Wow, powers. Okay, let me turn this up a little bit. So I can hear Lucas and everything else. This is popcorn. Continue on.
I control time and space.
Wow.
I should have known about that. Hey, just out of curiosity, where did you get that thing?
Simple. I got it from Knuckles.
Wow.
Or more accurately, his voice actor, Dave B. Mitchell.
Good
Wow.
for you.
What did it say? Format.
Or more accurately, his voice actor, Dave B. Mitchell.
Good for you.
Okay, Dave B. Mitchell. Let's continue on.
Anyway, ready to talk about Shadow Generations?
Let's get moving!
Okay.
That's the spirit.
Wow.
For this review, I'll be using the Xbox One version.
Okay.
Even though, yes, I also have a physical copy of the game for the Switch.
Yeah, okay.
So, is this game as good as I've heard of, or even better? Well, grab your gold rings and let's dive in.
It's good now.
Actually, before starting the game, there's an option on the title screen called Shadow Story.
Wow.
All it does is give you a brief summary, and I mean very brief, of who Shadow is as a character, for those who don't know who he is. Oh, and fun fact, it's narrated by Q-Pot. Or rather,
What's going on? Hang on. There, everybody. Close caption. Hang on. Coupon. Okay, let's continue on.
his actor being Wally Wingard.
Hold on. Wally Wingard. Okay. Hold on. Wonder who he is. No, I spelled it wrong. Oh, that. He misspelled it wrong. Okay. Close caption being on. He was American voice actor and former DJ. His roles include Almighty Thomas Red, Inventor Sim, MRI, Bleach, Psycho Blue and Power Rangers in Space. Okay. You gotta forgive me on this one, but anyway. Psycho T. Barasha and Wild Tiger and Black Tiger and Bunny. The winner of the Batman Arkham series. John Arbuckle and the Garfield Show. And of course, mascot H.H. Greg. Now, he's one of the following. The voice of Wolver, Alien, and Can of Worms in 1999. The television film, that is. Scooby-Doo 2 Monster which I saw in theaters in 2004. The Green-Eyed Skeleton Brother. The Bogus Witchcraft and the Zombie Chef, and the segment called In the Woods segment, something like that. Wanna be in getting actor number 1, and so on. He's also in Murphy Brown as Killer Voice, the voice of Cowboy, and it's not easy being Brown. Saved by the Bell new class is Don Lewis in the episode called Backstage Pass. I talked about this during my Boring Jokes episode on Backyard Show, and Saweetie Grant was one of the actors in Saved by the Bell new class. But anyway, Drew Carey show as the voice of Parrot in Man's Best, same, I'm not going to say the S word in this episode. But anyway, Compassion. If you watch this Alex Parrot's Drew Carey for you. But anyway, he's also in the Lost Galaxy episode, the 10 Powers, that same villain, Psycho Blue. But anyway, just shoot me, Disney Channel original movie. I think it's a Disney Channel original movie, let's see. Yes, it's just a TV series from NBC, never mind. It's a Clover, and the boys in the band, okay? And Daver's, really scary movie is, Uncle Daver, also a head writer in the show, the movie, something like that. And also, the announcer for 95 episodes and 7 episodes in the Jay Leno show, and of course, the night show with Jay Leno. And Lady Dynamite and Don Jr. 4 episodes, where I share Killer, Reggie, Almighty Jr. television film, something like that. Anyway, and there's so many more to talk about, but you know, Digimon Fire, I have loved Digimon to death, you know. It's Hippo Grimemon, the English dub version. Anyway, Ant Boys Watch number 3 in 2006 is one of Steve Aldrich's, Johnny Davis' last thing he did with DNA Productions. Anyway, and so on, you know. He did incredible stuff. Okay, initial voices. And there's so many other things he did in the series. So, my advice too is, he did Goober Rugrats episode in 1999. And King of Hell as Glorious Sheriff. You know, there's a lot of things that he did over the years. I'm not going to go off topic for this episode of LJPCBM. Let's just continue on.
Another voice actor that I was fortunate enough to meet.
Wow,
While it does its job well for the most part, there's only one thing about it that bothers me. The narration simply said that, at the last moment, Shadow remembered his true promise to Maria. But it doesn't explain why he remembered his true promise to Maria. Because in Sonic Adventure 2, Shadow remembered his true promise purely because Amy Rose reminded him of Maria. I really wish Sonic Team remembered that little plot point. More on that later.
It's also worth mentioning that before the release of Shadow Generations, a multi-part animated short film for the game was released online under Shadow Generations Dark Beginning.
Well, hold on.
Animated short film for the game was...
Love the movies, but 3-part Watch? More on next.
Released online under Shadow Generations Dark Beginnings, which takes place immediately before the events of Shadow Generations. So let's talk about that first. The story begins with, I guess, another flashback of Shadow's life on the space colony Ark with Maria. But after Shadow fights against Emerald, who debuted in Sonic Battle, Shadow begins to notice that something isn't right by means of events, quote, happening too quickly. After numerous trick-filled visions, Shadow then wakes up from a nightmare that he had as he gets a bad feeling that the Black Arms might be threatening to return.
By the way, I absolutely love that they remembered the moon being blown in half. This shot of Shadow staring at the broken moon is such a cool visual. So cool that it's actually my computer's wallpaper. Anyway, Shadow then races off towards one of Eggman's bases to search for a spaceship that can help him reach the space colony Ark. During the raid, he runs into both E-123 Omega and Rouge the Bat, who help him fight against Eggman's robots.
By the way, that last robot happens to be a pilotless version of the Egg Breaker. Though thankfully you don't constantly hear, you know what they say, the more the merrier, every time. After defeating the Egg Breaker, again, Rouge then offers Shadow to take him to a spaceship under the condition that he has to come to Sonic's birthday party, which results in them raiding another base, this time owned by Gun. After fighting Heavy Dog...
Oh, wow. Shooting the gun like Western movies, watch his dad John Wayne for you. Of course, some promos like Harrison Ford. Again, if you want this sounds for you, let's continue on.
This results in them raiding another base, this time owned by Gunn. After fighting Heavy Dog, again, Shadow forcefully enters the spaceship as they prepare for takeoff. Unfortunately, the security system detects an unauthorized launch and prepares some tourists to shoot down the ship. But fortunately, the command is overridden by the Gun Commander, or as he's now known as, Commander Abraham Tower. And fun fact, this is actually the name he went by in the Sonic Archie comics.
Wow, I'll talk about that in comic excuse me. I'll talk about more about that in comic reviews some other time. Let's continue on.
It was the first time he was actually called that in the games.
Wow.
However, this is not exclusive to us Westerners, because he's still called that in the Japanese dub of the animation.
Wow, wow. Too difficult, I know.
The animation ends with Shadow flying towards Space Colony Ark. This whole animation, by the way, is really awesome, and it actually does appear in the game itself, but only in the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 versions for some
Wow.
baffling reason. Anyway, the beginning of the actual game almost immediately follows up from the events of Dark Beginnings.
However, the game actually begins with another flashback to Space Colony Ark.
Can we wake him up now? Can I meet him?
I believe so, yes. It is time to awaken the ultimate life. Welcome to the world, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Wow.
After that flashback, we then get to see what immediately happened after Dark Beginnings. While aboard the Space Colony Ark, Shadow has a brief conversation with Bruce over intercom, and they notice some traces of dark energy aboard the Ark. He immediately gives chase and leads us to the first level of the game, Space Colony Ark. Despite the name, the music used is a remix of Final Rush from Sonic Adventure 2. As for the level itself, it's kind of a mix between Final Rush and Crazy Gadget, also from SA2. Like Sonic, Shadow also has a boost meter that can be refilled by collecting rings. Not only that, but he also still has the homing attack as well as the quick step.
But unlike Sonic, Shadow actually now teleports whenever he uses the homing attack on enemies. Shadow unfortunately doesn't have a drift maneuver, but his version of the quick step kind of makes up for it by being more of a controlled slide that stays locked onto one direction until you release the shoulder button. But of course, we can't talk about Shadow's gameplay without talking about his most iconic ability, Chaos Control. There's a meter on the bottom of the screen that can be filled up either by destroying enemies or by grabbing this lightning bolt item box that instantly fills it all the way. Once that happens, you can have Shadow use Chaos Control to completely stop time for 5 seconds. This move is extremely useful because enemies don't move during this period of time, and can also be used to take certain shortcuts if you know how to use it well. Another move returning from a previous game is Chaos Sphere. But unlike in Sonic Adventure 2 or Shadow the Hedgehog, in which it damages enemies, it instead only stuns most enemies, like in Sonic 06. Though you can thankfully lock onto enemies with it in this game. But back to the level itself, it's a great first level. It's really fast and has a lot of really cool action scenes. My favorite being this quick time event here where Shadow punches this missile several times while using Chaos.
Wow. Okay.
Control before kicking it away.
But after making more progress to the level, we then see the return of Black Doom, or rather the Doom's Eye.
Okay, damn it, Jumpers. Okay, for some reason, I thought that was a starfish, but it was Doom's Eye. Okay, that's fine. Continue on.
Causes the area around Shadow to get very distorted, and eventually leads to a warped version of Radical Highway. After a very short chase, Shadow quickly attacks Doom's Eye and manages to grab this black arm symbol in the process. After being sent back to Space Colony Ark, Shadow reaches the end of the level and is once again ranked depending on your performance. By the way, I'm glad to hear a remix of the stage clear music from Shadow the Hedgehog.
Anyway, Shadow then finds something very familiar to him.
The fake Chaos Emerald Tails made to foil the Doctor's plans. Even I have a hard time distinguishing between the two of them.
However, right after he takes it, he then sees the Time Eater attacking the planet below, and that's how we find out that even Shadow got caught by the Time Eater shenanigans. Shadow then finds himself in his own version of the White Space Hub area from Sonic Generations. It's also how we find out where E123 Omega was during the events of that game. But unlike Sonic's hub, Shadow's hub is in full 3D and is much larger. More on that later. Shadow also sees this giant black moon floating in the air, and is no doubt sure that it's the work of Black Doom.
Well,
Wow.
you could immediately
Oh, that
go to
was
the next
creepy.
level.
Hang on.
No doubt sure that it's the work of Black Doom.
That was creepy as hell right now. Excuse my language, but it's creepy, you know? Get that away from me. Continue on.
You could immediately start the next level. There is another level that unlocks, assuming you have the DLC for it. When Shadow notices a small purple energy floating about, it then transforms into a travel ring? Like the travel ring from the movies? Yep, it's a bonus level where Shadow not only gets transported to Tokyo during the events of the third Sonic movie, but he also takes his movie counterpart's form, where instead of being voiced by Kurt Thornton, he is voiced by Keanu Reeves.
Wow. Good actor. Excuse me. If you watch this remake, Keanu Reeves for you, but he's a good actor, you know? Continue on.
While I certainly love Keanu Reeves' Shadow voice in the movie, his performance in this game unfortunately sounds very phoned in. Like, as if Sonic Team could only afford one take for each line.
As for level Tokyo, it's alright. I'm glad the movies are getting recognition for the games. Throughout the level, Shadow chases down 2 helicopters, one of which involves Shadow destroying the cockpit, and the other he catches up to on top of the Tokyo Sky Tree. After performing some homing attacks on missiles, he then makes his way back to white space.
This level is pretty fun, though I do wish it wasn't paid DLC because I personally don't think only one level is worth $5.99, especially since Shadow's movie design can only be used in this one level.
Anyway, let's
I hear you, stuff.
to Act 2 of Space Colony Arc. Because like in Sonic Generations, there are 2 acts per level. While Act 1 is always a 3D level, Act 2 is almost always a 2D level. This is what Sonic Generations should have been like from the get-go. Anyway, during Act 2...
Wait, where did Shadow go? And why am I seeing that gray hedgehog?
Meet Terios, the prototype design for Shadow in Sonic Adventure 2.
What's going on? Meet Terios? Oh, okay, let's continue on.
For those who got the Digital Deluxe Edition, you can switch to Terios as a costume for Shadow.
However, like Sonic's costumes in Sonic Generations, this is not reflected in most of the game's cutscenes. So Lucas, can you please switch back to Shadow's normal design for the sake of consistency?
Okay, fine.
Wow.
Anyway, Act 2 actually has elements of Final Chase from Sonic Adventure 2. By that, I mean the spinning platforms that Shadow can walk up on. But near the end of the level, Shadow is chased by this black substance that he eventually absorbs and suddenly grows a pair of wings. This allows Shadow to briefly fly in a straight line for a certain amount of time as long as you have enough boost energy. Unfortunately though, we won't be seeing this ability again until much, much later. So it's basically just a tease during this level.
What was that new power? I've never done anything like that before. It's not something I should normally be able to do, yet it felt natural. What could be causing these mutations?
But after seeing something off in the distance, Shadow's then shocked to see Maria alive and well, as well as Gerald for that matter.
Maria? No. She's gone.
Wow.
I'm seeing things.
Wow.
After that little encounter, Shadow then approaches this large black sealing device that causes this black substance to enter Shadow's body and forces him to awaken a new power. These are known as Doom powers. Because of Shadow's Black Arms DNA, these sealing devices will grant Shadow a new Doom power each time he opens one using these items called Doom Gears, which you get for clearing levels. This first power is called Doom Spear.
Wow. A lot of popcorn left. Come right back. I'm back, folks. Sorry about that. I had to get my popcorn out of here. And, of course, just get some water. Let's resume this episode right now. Continue on. Zoom it. Continue. Really? Okay. I'm not gonna press that. Continue.
An upgrade for Chaos Spear that allows him to lock onto multiple targets at once.
Like these targets that Shadow needs to attack all at once in order to open this large door that leads to the next level of the game, Rail Canyon returning from Sonic Heroes.
Okay.
Even though the original Rail Canyon was a decent level overall, the new version is
hang on. What did you say?
from Sonic Heroes. Even though the original Rail Canyon was a decent level overall, The new version is definitely much better than this game. Not only is it more expanded than before, but I think it's also more exciting than before. And I'm also glad that the railgram mechanic is handled similarly to that of Sonic Unleashed. Not to mention, the bull rhinos and trains are back, as well as these fans that can get you to higher ground, unlike the original game in which you had to switch to the power character and have your team perform the triangle dive, or an umbrella, or a bubble gun. Good on you, Sonic.
Umbrella like in Sam the Snowman. Okay.
But Black Doom once again sends Shadow toward Radical Highway.
Wait, again? Don't get me wrong, Radical Highway is one of my favorite levels in the entire series, but wouldn't it make more sense if Westopolis was the level that showed up in the middle of these levels?
Or more like this. It would make more sense if Snuffleupagus from Snuffy. Anyway, would, I don't know what to say. How is the pronounce from Snuffleupagus from Snuffy? Anyway, from Sesame Street. Anyway. I mean, this one is Sesame Street! Next, anyway.
During how many times most players played that stage in Shadow the Hedgehog, I think that stage should have been included on principle, and I know I'm jumping the gun a bit here, no pun intended, but there are no levels from Shadow the Hedgehog in this game. This is one of the game's biggest missed opportunities, and I couldn't help but feel disappointed considering that Shadow Generations followed up from events of Shadow the Hedgehog. But going back to Rail Canyon, I agree that this stage is way more fun than the original level from Sonic Heroes, not just because of the better control and physics, but also because it feels so much faster. And considering that a lot of levels in Sonic games are like roller coaster rides, I think this speed is very appropriate.
As though, I'm not really a roller coaster person myself. Well, I done it twice in Orlando. And in 2007, I rode a roller coaster in Disney World, you know? And I had done it once where, the day before I had my broken arm, you know? And suddenly, I had been riding a roller coaster, and this before the 2019 roller coaster with the Woodpecker at the time. And that's what happened. I did not ride a roller coaster. It was in the dark, you know, that's what happened. And my theory is, oh my god, what happens next? And I did roller coaster until 12 years later, and I caused a lot of storm in the roller coaster, and Mom's like, what's your language? You know? I can't help it! And then, I'm talking about these roller coasters. I done Harry Potter the movie ride at the time, and I ride with my dad, and I was telling Dad, and it's during the movie ride where Harry was like, let's go! And I'm like, and I saw the Grinch, Jim Carrey's Grinch, I'm like, we're gonna die! I'm gonna die! And it scared the hell out of me, you know? You know, it's just like that, you know? It's 2013, this is before I graduated from high school at the time. It's at Universal Orlando Resort, but, you know. But that's just me. Thank God I wasn't, I'm not sure where's the Harry Potter movie ride was at? Let me see. I wonder if this has been defined or not, but I know Post Office Cereals was defined now, because thanks a lot, Post, for defining that cereal, because I loved that as a kid. You know, let me see here. Movie ride, Harry Potter. I mean, I remember this very well, you know. There we go, search. Forbidden Journey. Still there. It's not a movie ride. Where's the movie ride? Man! Where's the little Harry Potter? Are you kidding me? Or is this... It's in Universal? It's in 2014. Where's the one that featured movie ride? Where is it at? Anyway, I'm sorry, but... You gotta forgive me on this one. Let's just continue this episode before I get sober.
2. I love the
roller coaster rides. I think this speed is very appropriate.
As for Act 2, I love the remix for Bullet Station, and having Shadow getting chased by a spike-rolling bullet train is actually...
It's like Tom and Jerry in style, man. Let's continue on.
Pretty cool. Anyway, after clearing both acts, Shadow then gains access to the next Doom power of the game, Doom Blast.
Wow.
This is easily my favorite Doom power in the entire game.
Doom, like, I'm gonna show you what Bloom looks like. It was from the 90s, you know. on. You mean the franchise Doom? That type of Doom. It's from ID Software. It's from the 90s. And the comics from 1996 making. And they came out with Doom 2005. So see, here's this Doom. I'm talking about that Doom, you know. And it's rated R and it came out like 2005 in the United States, you know. And released in October 17th. And Universal Pictures done it, and so on. Anyway, you're talking about that Doom? And let's continue on.
Only used for attacking these black armed soldiers, but it involves Shadow doing an uppercut to send them upwards, then teleports to where they are, then kicks them to wherever you aim them towards, and then finishes them off by teleporting to the location Shadow kicked them to and smashes the enemy. It's very satisfying and is even used on a certain boss fight. More on that later.
And look at that!
Yeah,
It's
more
the
that later. Anyway.
game from Sonic Generations. Like in that game, it requires you to collect a required amount of boss keys by completing a few challenge missions.
However, it's a little more tedious in this game.
Okay.
Unlike Sonic Generations, where the challenge missions would unlock as soon as you finish the level before the boss gate, the challenge missions in Shadow Generations won't unlock until you approach the boss gate.
It's like, and never gets old, folks. Anyway, come right back. See how many gigabytes I have. But folks, sorry about that. I had to pause for a moment because I have enough space to react to Shadow Generations with Zero Night. That's good. And let's continue this episode right now.
Considering how much larger this version of White Space is, it's definitely a little more time-consuming. Furthermore, the levels have 2 challenge missions per act. But unlike Sonic Generations, which gives you a boss key after finishing 1 challenge mission per level, you need to finish both challenge missions in Act 1 or Act 2 of a level.
It's like, finish your job or you're fired! Rudolph, continue on anyway.
For it to get the boss key.
A few examples include collecting enough rings before reaching the goal, destroying enough targets before reaching the goal, or demonstrating your mastery of chaos control to reach the goal as fast as possible. And let's not forget the 1 ring challenge, in which you have to reach the goal with only 1 ring available in the stage. But yeah, for the most part, the challenge missions are very similar to each other.
Yeah.
Sonic Generations, collecting through boss keys, the challenge missions are very similar to each other. Like in Sonic Generations, collecting through boss keys earns you access to the first boss of the game, the Bio Lizard returning from Sonic Adventure 2.
It's like a dinosaur!
Fun fact, this boss was technically also in Sonic Generations, but only in the 3DS version.
Okay.
Even so, this boss is way better than either of its previous appearances.
Wow.
While it does start off very similar to how you fight it in Sonic Adventure 2,
Even though I did not know it was in the 3DS version. Okay, let's continue on.
eventually grows these messed up arms made of wires that also...
Oh! Okay, I'm joking anyway.
These pink orbs.
Whenever this happens, you have to wait for the Bio Lizard to slam down its arms onto the ground in order for you to attack said arms. Once that happens, these purple orbs will spawn. So
It's like Barney the dinosaur arms. Joking, continue.
a homing attack on said orbs to reach his life support system.
Wow.
However, if you attack the arms during Chaos Control, you'll not only damage his life support system instantly, but also completely refill your Chaos Control meter. This greatly speeds up the fight and is pretty much required for
Excuse me, birthday. Anyway.
this rank.
Alright, I'm gonna let you know a little secret.
What is it? What is it, Lucas?
I actually played this game blind when I was recording footage, so that was something I never knew about until then.
Oh, wow. Wow. That I did not know. Okay. Okay.
Eventually, the Bio Lizard will stick to the ceiling as it shoots more purple orbs that can be shot down using Chaos Spear.
However, he will eventually charge up a giant pink
What is that?
orb to
Can be shot down. Eventually, the Bio Lizard will stick to the ceiling as it shoots more purple orbs that can be shot down using Chaos Spear.
However, he will eventually charge up a giant pink orb to attack the entire floor.
Okay.
That's when you'll need to use Chaos Control to attack it and send it back to him. Also, one detail I forgot to mention. I love that Shadow uses a combo attack when attacking the Bio Lizard's life support system. It's one of the most satisfying instances of button mashing I've ever seen in a video game. Eventually, with one last attack, the Bio Lizard finally goes down. This time for good.
Okay. Okay.
Oh wow, Shadow doesn't seem too impressed by the rank you got.
Like I said before, this is my first time playing this game.
Oh, wow. D? You got a D? Oh, wow.
Black Moon cracks open, the rest of the white space finally opens up. And it's here where Shadow finally encounters Black Doom once again.
Yeah, this one behind you, I thought it was Patrick for some reason. Yeah, but it was, if we go back to my reaction to Christmas Special 2024 edition, that makes more sense. Continue on.
Black Doom. I already know what you're planning. There's only one thing I haven't figured out. Why do you keep taking me back to Radical Highway?
But
I just think Radical Highway...
Hold on. But it was magic like a starfish. But yeah, I'll continue on.
Figured out. Why do you keep taking me back to Radical Highway? I just think Radical Highway is so cool.
Oh,
Wait,
God.
what
Please help me.
Radical Highway. I just think Radical Highway is so cool.
Wait, what happened to their voices?
Whoops. Sorry, that was my fault. Here's the actual cutscene.
Shadow. You have made excellent progress. I would expect nothing less from my finest creation.
Well, at least this game kept one thing consistent. Black Doom is voiced by an anime protagonist.
Now the Hedgehog, he was voiced by Sean Schimmel, who's best
Wait. What did he say? He's voiced by Sean Schimmel. Hold on.
for voicing Goku in the Funimation dub of Dragon Ball.
Yeah, hold on. 9,000, yeah, Dragon Ball Z. If you watch this remix, Dragon Ball Z for you. And of course, 9,000 million! I love that joke to death. Continue on.
In this game, he's voiced by Ben Diskin, who you might know as the English voice of
Hold on, what's that? Ben Dixon. Okay, I'm gonna search that right now. And we'll get to the commercial, because I have... Oh, Benjamin Dixon. Okay, makes sense. Anyway. Oh, okay. He's in Erased. Okay, never heard of it. Okay. Sarah Moon? Oh, okay. I'm not gonna do anime, because bits and pieces of anime I can do. Problem Child? Okay. The series. Like Junior Haley. Okay. Hey Arnold as Eugene. That was good. Cody Kid That Store as number 1, number 2, so on, you know. Avatar The Last Embarrassed, Hell on, that was a good one in 2 episodes. 2006 of Squirrel Boy as AJ. Whoa, okay. Makes sense. The crossover between Cody Kid That Store and Billy and Mandy is number 1, 2, and this one Devout Children of Dollar Delay. Makes sense. Spider-Man, especially from Spider-Man, is a Brock Venom. The Mad Show, you know, okay. I love the Mad Show because stop it! Because I love that meme very much. As Big Bird, wow. Guardian, Morgan, okay. Yeah, and some of these shows that I've seen, some are boring, some are not, because it makes more sense. Gonzo and Rizzo? I don't know you boys that. But I never heard of such a thing called the Disney Junior Muppets Babies. I've seen the original, not the revival. Sorry. But remix, if you're watching this, remix Billy, Muppet Babies Disney Junior one for you, because I never want to watch it, because it's too radical. Sorry. Anyway, Poppies, if you watch this Bob show, you did a review about it. Poppies, the revival, and it was voicing Mike Mine. Okay. And regular show, okay. He did Stefan, Milton, and okay. There's a lot to talk about here. Let's continue on.
Joestar from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Okay, that'd be great. That too. Okay, that's good.
I personally know him as Mega Man and Mega Man 11. Yep.
I've seen bits about it. Okay.
Xehanort from Kingdom Hearts, and Rokuro
Okay, he's good.
Tetsu from Tales of Berseria.
Kingdom Hearts, I never heard of Kingdom Hearts bits and pieces. But anyway, and Tales of Ruin, nah, I never heard of that show. Sorry, Seth.
Funny enough, this is not the first time Ben Diskin has voiced a Sonic character in his career.
Yeah.
Ever heard of QNC from Sonic from Rise of Lyric? Well, neither have I, because I haven't played that game yet.
Anyway.
Yeah, okay, well, say.
Of QNC from Sonic from Rise of Lyric? Well, neither have I, because
I never I never seen Rise of Eric at all. Was a game. Okay, now why?
I haven't played that game yet.
Anyway, Shadow completely destroys Doom's Eye, but it turns out that it's just one of many Doom's Eyes. So after that little exchange, we then acquired the next Doom power of the game, Doom Surf.
Yeah, Doom Surf as in, the, serve for the most SpongeBob. Okay, that makes sense. Do on, anyway.
Did somebody say surf?
I should have seen this coming.
Wow.
Oh, hey, Hux. And yes, surfing was indeed mentioned. Ever
Wow.
heard of Shadow Generations?
Yeah, dude. I had a feeling that a surf power would be in that game. Though
Wow.
it does look a bit creepy, though. Honest.
Tell me, Hawk. So, woo! Continue on, anyway.
Why does that manta ray look like a symbiote? Please tell.
Oh, man. What did you say? What did you say? Hang on. It's a symbiote? Oh, what does that mean? Hang on. I mean, I saw it one time at school, but, and like, if you go back, okay, I'm gonna search it up right now, see what that means. Oh, it's a comic book, okay. Virtual alien species in Marvel book comics. Oh, that makes sense. Let's continue on.
Doesn't involve another black suit.
No black suit, Hux. Just a black hedgehog.
Duh.
Well, that's a sigh of relief. Anyway, I should get back to my own surfing. Surfing the web, that is. Later, dudes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oddly enough, I'm actually with Hawks about the look of the Doom Surf power-up. You know, the manta ray symbiote thing. But yeah, Doom Surf allows Shadow to travel across water. Because unlike Sonic, Shadow can't boost over water. At least normally anyway. Just simply touch water and Doom Surf will automatically activate. You can do a quick burst of speed by pressing the boost button right when you enter water. It then leads us to the next level of the game, Kingdom Valley, from a game that turns 20 next year. And
Wait, wow. Wait, what's 2020 next year? Yeah, according to as I'm taping this right now, Bohemian Rhapsody, the song by Queen, is for 50 this today. And it's also Halloween. So, yeah, hang on.
it then leads us to the next level of the game, Kingdom Valley, from a game that...
Oh, wow, Kingdom Valley. Oh, yeah, let me search it right now. I never heard of this game, ever. But, oh, man. And remix lives in the 90s and 2000s. If you watch remix, oh, Twin Kingdom Valley? Oh, it's from the 80s. I'm not referring to the one. He's not referring to the one from the. Oh, Kingdom Hearts. Wow. Oh, it's from March 2000. Oh, he's not referring to that game. Doofus? Ah, Jesus. Okay. Okay, comment below, Lucas. I'm so sorry. I don't know what the Kingdom Valley you're referring to. Let's continue on.
20 next year. And yes, expect us to review that game next year as well.
Be looking out for LJP ads. Very, very soon next. And speaking of LJP ads, in 2026, there will be a 10th anniversary special on LJP ads coming away in 2026. Be looking out for it. And this will be a special 10th anniversary marathon of LJP ads. So, to honor the 10th anniversary of LJP ads, so it's going to be a huge one. So, while I'm traveling to other states and two other countries. So, there you go. Let's continue on.
Anyway, Kingdom Valley has Shadow grinding on water lines, taking flights via Eagle, and using the Dune Surf ability in the river section to dash and dodge any obstacles in your path. You need not worry about that slow, finicky hovercraft when you have, well, that.
Believe it or not, this is actually my favorite level in the entire game. It's not only beautiful to look at, but it also has a lot of alternate pathways and is very fast-paced. Even
Wow.
Act 2 is pretty fun. While I definitely prefer 3D Sonic gameplay over 2D Sonic gameplay,
Hold on. Come right back. I'm back, folks. Sorry about that. I had to get rid of some space on my recording. To say my record for LGB, that's 1,774, and that will take more space to do LGB ads episodes. Anyway, let's continue this episode right now. Here we go. Resuming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
The camera is dynamic and usually for 3D Sonic gameplay over 2D Sonic gameplay, at least the camera is dynamic and usually shifts to a good angle that can help you see oncoming obstacles, because it's very important to be able to see where you're going when you're moving at super speed. Looking at you, Sonic Superstars.
Okay.
After completing both acts of Kingdom Valley, Shadow then runs into... wait, Mid the Cat?
Hello.
Mid the Cat, yeah. He's a giant!
I'm Shadow, isn't it?
And he's voiced in this game by Kyle Hebert, who you might recognize as adult Gohan, as well as the narrator from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, meanwhile, watch remix, again, Dragon Ball Z for you, continue on.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z, Goku helps me find Froggy.
Cookie Monster voice, anyway.
Help from the one and only Great Saiyaman!
Anyway, on to the next level of the game. Sunset Heights from Sonic forces me to play a better game. While this version is better than the original game, it still feels a bit linear to me with a few alternate paths here and there. And oh great, another Black Doom interruption to the storied highway.
Yeah, like, it's more like, I hate to interrupt you, but we have more time. Thank you so much for Robin and Jim voice. My voice impression of Robin and Jim were okay, but it's all over there. Let's continue on.
Hopefully is the last time he interrupts one of the levels. But yeah, this level is simply okay for me. Definitely way better than the original level from Sonic Forces, so yeah. After running through both acts, Shadow suddenly sees Maria being chased by some black armed soldiers and quickly rescues her.
Wow.
After Maria gives Shadow a quick hug, Shadow then sees...
It's like Barney, for example, say, "You had a great big hug and a kiss from me to you." Continue on.
...soldiers and quickly rescues her. After Maria gives Shadow a quick hug, Shadow then sees Professor Gerald Robotnik and realizes that they are basically from the point in time before Gunn raided the Ark. I also want to mention that while Mike Pollock returns to voice Professor Gerald...
Wow. I gotta search him right now. Mike Pollock. Oh. Okay. Okay. Though, in film, he did... Oh, yeah, that movie which I saw in theaters. Though, he also did the following, okay? He did... Oh, yeah, stupid Pokemon will be doing that. But anyway. He also did... Oh, no, don't worry about Pokemon. No, stop it. He did Kirby Right Back at You. We've watched Remix Kirby for you. And, of course, Sonic X as Dr. Eggman. But he also did the following. Blue as, in the next place dub as Professor Awashu, I pronounce it, but, and so on. Oh, and scroll up a little bit. Wait, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? It's Garbage Man and Kirby. Okay, makes more sense. The 2003, 2006 series. The 2003 series I like the best. You know, it was a good series, you know? Anyways, and for whatever reason, it was a good series. Let's continue on.
Maria is voiced by Stephanie Sheh.
Wait. Stephanie Sheh? Oh. Hold on, move on. Let me see. Cast, let me see. Sheh. Oh, I thought it was 75 for some reason, but no. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. She's also in the following. Sailor Moon R, the movie 2017. And Digimon Tamers, which it was a good show in my opinion. Barbie Sky, Squad's, Renee, and so on, you know. It makes sense because she's, one of the Barbie girls, you know, it's Renee, you know. Period, not, Oh, wait. She's in Family Guy? Go up. Go up some more. Where is that? I thought it was Family Guy, but nah. She's in Digimon Star Squad and so on. Okay. I thought it was Devin Anime. Where's Family Guy? Oh, there it is. In 2011, it's a little girl and Seahorse Seashell Party. Okay, there it is. Found it. Whatever. Well, the Care Bears Watch remix for you, buddy. As Share Bears, Baby Tags, Tugs Bear, Laugh a Lot Bear, and Secret Bear. And for the moment, the volume was shutting down. This year, it was just so sad ending, you know, and so on. You know, Wild House. I see bits of Wild House. That was it. You know, and so on. You know, let's just continue on. Well, really?
Sonic Lost World, everyone!
How about a way better
Who's that?
character that is voiced by Stephanie Shea?
Xena from Sonic Lost World, everyone!
How
Wow.
about a way better character like Usagi Tsukino from Sailor Moon? Or
Oh, wow. That was good. That was good. I haven't seen the series in years. Continue on.
Charlotte from Castlevania? Or even Kyrie from Devil May Cry?
Wait, what did it say? Hang on. Charlotte from Castlevania. I never heard that series. No. Devil May Cry. I seen the video game. I did react to, if you go back to my reactions to the Nintendo, Direct videos, you know I mentioned about that. Let's continue on.
Yeah, you probably know what to do by now. Make your way to the boss door, complete more challenge stages, including one with Rising Pillars in Kingdom Valley, and collect 3 more boss keys to gain access to the next boss of the game, Metal Overlord from Sonic Heroes.
Wow. Wow.
You'll be joining the rubble in the water soon.
In this game, the Metal Overlord is voiced by Ray Chase, who I mostly know as Noctis from Final Fantasy XV, the Master of Masters from Kingdom Hearts, and the most recent role from him that I learned about, Nouvellette from Genshin Impact. But
Ray Chase. Okay, I'm gonna search him right now. Well, I never heard of him, but is he in some of the shows I like? Let's see. Well, in 1987. Okay. He was in. Is he in some of the films I like? Demon Slayer. Okay, makes sense. Okay. He's in live action roles. One? That's it? Okay. Licor Pizza as B. Mitchell Reed. Okay, makes sense. In animation, he did X-Men 97, Scott Summers Co-ops, replacing the original voice actor Norm Spencer. Okay, that was good. But Big City Greens. Oh my god. Asir Bill Collaborators in the episode called Saxon Solve Robbery. I don't watch Big City Greens. Okay. Okay. And wait, that's it? Okay, let's continue on.
the Metal Overlord, this is personally my least favorite boss in the game, purely because it's the most strict out of all of them. Most of the fight takes place on water and involves heavy use of Doom Surf. Aside from using that quick dash to knock these pieces of junk at him, you also have to dodge several lasers that he throws at you, and depending on how much damage you did to him, you'll also have to dodge some tail swipes from him. It is possible to skip that section if you damage him enough before then, but it requires perfect timing and precise navigation on these small ramps, which is easier said than done. Ironically, I actually prefer the 2D section of this fight, purely because it's easier to speed up the fight when you know what to do.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Boss fight is
section of this fight, purely because it's easier to speed up the fight when you know what to do.
The Metal Overlord boss fight is actually pretty interesting to say the least. While it is cool to have Doom Surf throughout most of the boss level, this boss fight will try to test you in timing Metal Sonic's attacks, especially the tail swipes. That's always been a doozy to me. And the last section of the boss fight is pretty good as well. It's almost like a 2D version of the King Caliente boss fight from Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
Anyway, with the power of Chaos Control, Shadow depletes Metal Overlord's health bar, therefore defeating Metal Overlord for good. More cracks show than the Black Moon as Shadow once again runs into Maria and Gerald.
Gerald then reveals that Maria had an illness that couldn't be cured on Earth, which is why she was moved to the Ark where her condition could be better managed.
Wait, New York? New York? Hang on. Yeah, Sesame Street. Taven, okay. Wait. Oh, I thought it was Ark, not... I thought it was New York, not... Oh, okay, Ark. Okay, I'll shut up. Whatever.
The reason why Gerald decided to create the Ultimate Life Form was so he could find a cure for Maria. As we all know, the Bio-Lizard was an experiment that ended in failure, So when Black Doom approached him and offered the miracle of chaos control, he accepted said offer and used Black Doom's DNA to create the ultimate life form, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Wow.
However, this means that Shadow and Black Doom are linked by blood. This means that as Shadow grows stronger, so does Black Doom.
Wow.
But of course, being the ultimate life form, Shadow is fully confident that Black Doom is no match for him.
Wow.
You made me the ultimate life form, Professor. Black Doom is a fool. I'll take this power and use it as my own.
Wow. Just wow,
Making my way to the next sitting device,
Wow. Just wow, Shao. You did something wrong about this whole... What do you call it? Different times of Maria and Dr. Robotic. I'm speechless. Let's continue on.
While making my way to the next sitting device, I then ran into Orban and Cubot near the entrance of Rail Canyon.
Oh, hello, Shadow.
Please don't smash us to bits!
So apparently Orban and Cubot are trying to escape white space by building a rocket. And how do you get it built, you may ask? Well, if you hadn't noticed yet, there's a bunch of nuts and bolts scattered around white space.
Yeah.
When you collect enough, you can give them to Orbot and Cubot that not only progress the rocket's construction, but also unlock some concept art. That said, however, collecting them all is not worth it, because the rocket is eventually instead built into a cuckoo clock.
Wait. Is that Kookaburra saying peekaboo? For some reason? I don't know.
First is that there are exactly 80 nuts and bolts scattered throughout the hub area, and they are never marked on the map. I actually did collect them all, twice, but only because I wanted the Platinum Trophy in every achievement.
Wow.
Otherwise, it's almost a complete waste of time. I think
waste of mass. Whatever. Continue on.
Or if the nuts and bolts were currency for a shop to unlock new skills, similar to what Sonic Generations has. In fact, one move I really wish was included as an unlockable is Chaos Blast, but it sadly never appears in this game. Yet another missed opportunity.
Anyway, breaking the next ceiling device gains Shadow another new Doom power-up, the Doom Morph. Yes, the symbiote version of the...
As in Power Rangers, okay.
Gains Shadow another new Doom power-up, the Doom Morph. Yes, the symbiote version of the Spike Wisps. With this ability, Shadow turns into a black arms alien that can travel through this purple-like substance and grapple onto these Doom Spears.
This is definitely the most difficult Doom power to use, mostly because grappling onto these spears have two possible outcomes.
Wow.
You can either use Doom Morph like a traditional grappling hook, or use it as a slingshot to shoot upward when you release the button at the bottom of the swing. However, the game admittedly doesn't do the best job at teaching you how it works. You essentially need to experiment with its mechanics in order to understand how it works. Now, once you do understand how it works, it's pretty fun to use. It's just that learning how it works is the hard part. Moving on to the next level, we have Chaos Island from Sonic Frontiers, but Shadow wasn't even in that game.
Wow. Just wow. What do you say?
Chaos Island from
I'm talking about the Chaos Island part, but it's just... So, besides they were getting that game. Yeah, exactly.
Frontiers, but Shadow wasn't even in that game. Granted, this is the closest I have to playing as Shadow in Sonic Frontiers without mods, but that just makes me wish he was in Sonic Frontiers even more.
Exactly. Thank you.
However, this level is actually pretty fun. It's definitely one of the more challenging levels in the game, but I still think it's a good time. Well, Act 1 anyway. Act 2 is fine, but is personally a little too slow for my taste because of these slow elevators that appear in the middle of the level. It also gives me flashbacks to those levels from Sonic Colors that were structured more like Mega Man levels rather than Sonic levels.
As someone who's never played Sonic Frontiers yet, I also don't understand why this level is even included in this game. It would have been better to have it replaced with a level from Shadow the Hedgehog to give it some representation. If not Westopolis, then how about Circus Park?
Yeah, Miles Flower Fade. The speed limit just slap the pain in the face. That too works!
Visual Circuit. Those would have been better level choices than this. With that said, Chaos Island is alright. There's a lot of instances in which you have to use Doom Morph to progress through the level, and seeing that this is the only level in which you use Doom Morph is kind of sad, to be honest.
It was sad! It makes sense, because it'll work just fine, because, let's say, instead of that purple goo, it's terrible. How much you made that sense, and put that slap in the face, speed limit 25 to some villains. I mean, I agree with that too, but purple goo, ew, you know? Continue on.
Have to do more views and more levels, you know? Give it more variety.
Yeah!
After clearing Chaos Island, Shadow then runs into a very familiar blue blur.
I found you, Shadow!
The blue hedgehog, of all places.
Wow.
You have something I need.
You can wait until my business is finished.
I gotta say,
Yeah, let's say how much you can finish that. Duh. Anyway.
I have something I need.
You can wait until my business is finished.
I gotta say, I absolutely love the way Shadow is written in this cutscene. Much better than how he was written in Sonic Generations.
Yeah.
In fact, my headcanon is that the cutscene in Sonic Generations is what appeared from Sonic's point of view, while the cutscene in Shadow Generations is what actually happened. It also shows that Shadow clearly wasn't interested in fighting Sonic again because he has more important things to do. But Sonic refuses to let Shadow go because he needs the Chaos Emerald to stop the time meter. So Sonic is the one who picks a fight with Shadow only fighting Sonic because he doesn't have any other choice. That said, when I first saw this cutscene, I was like, oh wow, are we going to fight Sonic as Shadow this time? That would be so awesome. But despite this cutscene having fantastic animation, it's unfortunately only a cutscene and not a playable fight.
Yeah.
Pretty disappointing, to be honest. But what's funny is that after Rouge comes across Shadow after the fight, it's revealed that the
damn fourth Chaos Emerald
that Sonic got from Shadow in Sonic Generations was actually the fake emerald that Tails made in Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
A funny twist that I was not expecting.
And this is where I got completely lost, because clearly I was trying to follow that icon in white space to the best of my ability, but nothing came. It wasn't
Nothing came at all, yeah. Duh.
On this underground cave by accident with Doom Morph, only to venture my way to this.
Oh, I thought it was Goo, but it was Doom Morph. Okay, let's continue on.
Until I finally found a boss gate. But here come those challenge stages we love so much, some of which include destroying electrical cyclones and riding gondolas.
Unlike every other boss gate in both this game and Sonic Generations, the last boss gate in Shadow Generations requires 4 boss keys instead of 3. And considering that there are only 4 boss keys left,
okay.
Point in the game, this essentially means that you need to finish every single challenge mission in order to finish Shadow Generations.
Wow.
Well, except the movie DLC challenge missions, that is. Unlike Sonic Generations, which only required you to finish a 10th of the challenge missions in that game.
So after going through the somewhat completionist route, we finally unlock another boss gate, revealing the next boss of the game, the Scepter of Darkness. Nope, it's Mephiles from, once again, a certain game that turns 20 next year.
Oh, wait. What game did we turn 20 next year?
Nope, it's Mephiles from...
Memphis. Hold on. Yeah, you meant to put the typing wrong. Oh, another video game. Oh, I misspelled it wrong. Hang on.
Again.
Hold on. Oh, he misspelled Mouthleys. Okay. If I spelled it all wrong, I'm sorry, but that's just me. Oh, you're talking about Sonic Hedgehog 2006 video game. Okay. That came out in November 2006. Okay, I'll probably do that next year, but, you know, in the 10th anniversary show. But anyway, let's continue on.
A certain game that turns 20 next year.
Okay.
And restore myself to the timeline.
Why does he sound like Goro Akechi from Persona 5? Oh, no wonder.
Why be Damon? Okay. What did we say? Why does he sound like Goro from Persona 5?
Why does he sound like Goro Akechi from Persona 5? Oh.
Oh, okay. Robbie Damon, okay. Okay. He's... Okay. It makes sense, because he's, in television, he was the... in Scooby-Doo Gets You as a gargoyle, and so on. He's in the revival Rugrats as a bug in an episode called Second Time Around. And okay, Fairy Odd Parents: A New Wish as Good Judith in an episode called Prime Miriam Love. I never heard Devil Made Me Cry. I thought it was a video game series. It's a television series? Okay, that's fine. Oh, I never heard of the show. Sorry, but anyway. Some shows I never seen. Sorry, but you know. Anyway, he's in Sailor Moon for 2014 to 2019. It's a Viz though? I never heard of it. Sorry. I don't speak Viz. I speak English, but not Viz. Let's continue on.
No wonder, because he is, as well as Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon.
Which I talked about during, earlier. Continue on.
So, from Final Fantasy 15. But back to Mephiles, this is actually my favorite.
Wait, go back.
And Prompto from Final Fantasy 15.
Watch remix Final Fantasy franchise for you. Continue on.
But back to Mephiles, this is actually my favorite boss in the entire game. Mostly because of how flashy it is thanks to using Doom Blast to damage him. It's just very satisfying knocking him around while teleporting at the same time.
Wow.
Also, this fight takes place in Dusty Desert, making this technically the third level from that game to make a recent appearance.
Okay.
Yay! More love for Doom Morph!
Yay! Move on.
Time you have to use it to avoid Mephiles' attacks, as well. More love for Doom Morph! Only this time you have to use it to avoid Mephiles' attacks, as well as destroying these dark shadows that Mephiles summons. I mean, it does make sense knowing that Mephiles was formed by Shadow in the original game. Later in the fight, Mephiles then turns into his monstrous form as a fusion with either summoned shadows or copies of himself.
Okay.
Yes, Mephiles clones himself in the original game. Eventually, you defeat Mephiles as he finally gets sealed in the Sector of Darkness for good. But before that, though... Definitely a better death exclamation than this.
Wait. I can still fight.
Also, I like to think that Shadow's remark towards Mephiles at the end of the fight is yet another jab towards that certain game from 2006.
What do you say?
The fight is yet another jab towards that certain game from 2006.
Yeah, because I started my filmmaking career that same year. You know, when I began searching, I'm like, wow, that makes sense. Continue on.
Once again, the Black Moon breaks even further, and Black Doom once again taunts Shadow and gets him really, really angry.
Wow.
But despite Shadow's initial anger...
Wait, the voice of Darth Vader came here? Let's continue on.
Angry. But despite Shadow's initial anger, Maria manages to calm him down and reveals the main reason why he's called Shadow.
Do you know why I named you Shadow? Because without light, there's only darkness. But a shadow will show you where to find the light. Do you understand? I don't want you to be driven by darkness. I want you to be happy. Stand in the light with peace in your heart.
That is such a sweet moment and really makes me care about Maria more than I ever have before in any previous Sonic game.
Yeah, come right back. Stand by. I'm back, folks. Sorry about that. I had to check my video, so, and that way more easier that way. Wait, let's continue on.
Runs off. He gains access to the final Doom power of the game, the Doom Wing. Yeah,
wow.
Remember that slight tease from Act 2 of Space Colony Arc? Well, now he had that ability for the rest of the game.
Behold, I can fly.
It's like Batman. Continue on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he can fly.
Yeah, this isn't flying. This is falling with style. Continue on.
Oh, wait a minute. I've done that myself, too. Only a few times, to be exact.
Oh, wow, Sonic. Wow.
Wing essentially functions like Supersonic, in which Shadow is completely invincible and can jump a little higher. You even activate it after collecting 50 rings, which then starts being drained after activating it. But unlike Supersonic's scripted and limited flying move in Sonic Generations, Shadow's Doom Wing allows you to control what exact direction he flies in. Anyway, after awakening Doomwing, the Black Moon also activates and turns the entire sky in. Anyway, after awakening Doomwing, the
Whoa! Whoa, wow, that would be scary. Continue on.
allows you to control what exact direction he flies in. Anyway, after awakening Doomwing, the Black Moon also activates and turns the entire sky red. Unsurprisingly, Maria is very worried about Shadow, but he assures her that everything is alright and will continue to fight with her wish in his heart. He even gives her a genuine smile, which is just a very sweet moment.
Yeah.
One long rigorous climb to the Black Moon then leads us to the final level of the game, Radical Highway from Sonic Adventure 2, only now as a full stage.
Wow.
I'm definitely glad this stage was included because Radical Highway is to Shadow what Green Hill Zone is to Sonic. It's his first level in the entire series, and this level is definitely a lot of fun. It starts off identical to the original stage, only with way better graphics. But throughout the stage, you eventually start to see that some of the buildings are tilted, implying that the stage gets more and more twisted as you progress. That said, however, this is also the main reason why I think Westopolis should have been the level that interrupted other levels rather than Radical Highway. And by the time you reach Act 2, it looks just as trippy looking as it did during said interruptions. Though funny enough, this level also has my favorite Act 2 in the entire game, but only because it's a full 3D stage rather than another 2D stage.
Unlike the 3DS version of Sonic Generations, in which it was used as a 2D stage. But still, it makes more sense to have Shadow in Radical Highway than Sonic. Anyway, Radical Highway is pretty interesting. It makes more sense to have Shadow in Radical Highway than Sonic. Anyway, Radical Highway is pretty interesting for a final stage. More expansive, yes, but also a bit more challenging with all the obstacles, twists and turns and whatnot. And even this Black Macho...
Yeah, twists and turns! Continue on.
But also a bit more challenging with all the obstacles, twists and turns and whatnot. And even this Black Macho enemy that actually creates tornadoes as obstacles for
It's a twister! It's a twister! Continue on.
Doomwing. But yeah, a pretty cool level to say the least. After venturing through Radical Highway, again, Shadow then fights the final boss of the game, and appropriately so, Black Doom from Shadow the Hedgehog.
Wow. Wow.
Other Black Doom in his final boss form being Devil Doom. Definitely
handled better than Devil Doom! Peace out from let's say, Megadeth. Now, now Megadeth will be coming out with a new and final album, coming out next, this upcoming January of 2026, and believe it or not, folks, they're coming out with a new single, like a Metallica cover, you know, like Ride the Lightning, which is the second album of Metallica's album in 1984. And surprisingly enough, folks, this is Megadeth's final album, Metallica cover, Megadeth, anyway, from 2026, which I'm looking forward to it, and I was surprised about they're coming out with a final tour. Let's continue on.
Or rather, Black Doom in his final boss form being Devil Doom. Definitely handled better than before. After starting off with Doom Surf, Shadow can railgun with a splice of platforming, sidestepping, and of course, spamming the homing attack on Black Doom's eye. No need to power up for a Chaos Blast in midair, but you can simply use the homing attack. After depleting half his health, it then transitions to another section in which you have to use...
Hang on, I got notifications. I'm bad, folks. Sorry about that. I had to quit this app because I don't want to get disturbed by notifications from Discord. Let's get back to it.
Homing attack. After depleting half his health, it then transitions to another section in which you have to use Doom Morph across these small platforms and a large bottomless pit. But don't worry, because even if you fall off, it won't affect Devil Doom's boss meter at all. Rinse, wash, repeat 2 more times, and it will then transition to the second and final phase of the fight in which Devil Doom gets a new form known as Neo Devil Doom.
Wow! Wow! Oh my god! Oh my god! Neo Devil Doom. How clever. Oh man, continue on.
For this entire phase of the fight, Shadow uses Doomwing, flying through a scripted area while collecting rings in the process.
It's like a bird from Sesame Street. I don't know. Like Big Bird. I don't know. Continue on.
This is easily the best part of the fight because it involves both dodging and even countering Neo Devil Doom's attacks.
It's like the cow. Continue on.
Or eventually boosting towards him and attacking him with a combo attack. And my favorite part of this phase? It's accompanied by a new symphonic remix of All Hail Shadow. Such a great final fight for a great game.
Wow, okay.
Time is right. That's when you spam the homing attack at one of...
Final fight for a great game.
When the time is right, that's when you spam the homing attack at one of Black Doom's eyes. However, the one attack that I could never seem to avoid is that tail attack, mainly because it's really hard to tell where that attack will occur. After enough damage, Neo Devil Doom then uses Chaos Control, but Shadow demonstrates that it doesn't affect him and can still land the final blow on Black Doom via QuickTime event, ending with a button masher. Though thankfully not as many times as Perfect Dark Gaia in the HD version of Sonic Unleashed.
This eventually leads...
Even though I did react to the Sonic Unleashed while I came back from DC and Arlington in 2024, and I thought it was a tribute to Robert the Jedi. So let's continue on.
Thankfully not as many times as Perfect Dark Gaia in the HD version of Sonic Unleashed.
This eventually leads to one of my favorite Shadow quotes in the entire series.
Shadow. This is the destiny I choose.
Wow.
Now, to end this.
Forever! Yeah. It'll make more sense anyway.
I crafted everything up till now.
Wow.
And yet, you deny me.
Wow. It's a horror movie. Style, man.
All hail Shadow, everyone.
All hail Shadow. Oh, hail Shadow! Yeah, I sound like an opera, not opera singer, mix between opera singer and rock and roll star. Anyway, continue on.
Defeated once and for all, the time anomaly begins to heal as Shadow loses his Doom powers, seemingly for good this time. Rouge then arrives to tell Shadow about Sonic's eventual fight with the Time Meter, and then Shadow gives Rouge the Chaos Emerald to help Sonic in the final battle. Shadow then witnesses Maria and Gerald slowly fading away and returning to their own point in time.
Wow.
While Shadow initially wants to use Chaos Control to save them, Maria tells Shadow that they don't want to be frozen in one place and encourages Shadow to go help his friends.
Yes, okay.
And tells Shadow that she'll always be in his heart, convincing Shadow to leave and go support Sonic, and thus ending Shadow Generations. Though I also like to think that the final animation that plays after the credits of Dark Beginnings happens sometime after the events of this game.
Somewhere Rainbow. Next, continue on.
And that concludes the main story of the game. But it's not over yet. On everything else.
Wow.
In addition to these nuts and bolts, there's also chests hidden throughout white space containing artwork and music from earlier Sonic games. Each stage, including the challenge missions, include 3 collectibles that can be used to open said chests. And there are 3 types of collectibles that open specific chests.
Wow.
One that unlocks music, one that unlocks artwork, and one that unlocks more of Shadow's history. Or more accurately, the history of Sonic games that Shadow previously appeared in.
White Space also has these short challenge missions that involve collecting enough rings within a certain time limit, or reaching a set amount of checkpoints within a certain time limit. There are also these spheres being carried by these floating targets that can be shot down using Chaos Spear. These all contain pages to Gerald Robotnik's journal, which, fun fact, was included as a physical item as a pre-order bonus.
Ooh, okay.
Fortunately, a paper cover booklet, rather than a hardcover book like I was hoping it would be.
Okay, okay.
The game looks amazing. The level design has...
Or a book like I was hoping it would be.
Graphically, the game looks amazing. The level design has vastly improved from the original counterparts and more expanded than before. The in-game cutscene animation throughout the game is incredible. You can definitely see what the characters are feeling based on their expressions alone. Though there are times in which you could get lost in this iteration of White Space, we still have fast travel to make things easier for you. If you've already been there, that is. But yeah, it looks amazing overall.
We haven't had a Sonic game with this good animation for in-game cutscenes since Sonic Unleashed, so I definitely love how expressive the characters are.
And what can I say about the game's soundtrack? Gosh be darned, I love this soundtrack to death. I love the remixes using Rail Canyon, well, Act 2 because I'm a sucker for Bullet Station. Radical Highway.
Wow, surprising you said sucker in this one. In this LJPCBM episode. Let's continue on.
Metal Overlord's theme, What I'm Made Of, the symphonic version of All Hail Shadow, and of course, the BioLizard theme supporting me. And fun fact, that very remix was performed by social media guitarist Rashad E.B.
Oh, hey.
Wait. What do you say? Rashad B. Oh, wow. Heavy metal dude. Continue on.
Actually met him a few years ago.
Oh, wow! So jealous, okay.
Though for some reason, that remix doesn't include the vocals in-game, despite the vocals being in the soundtrack version of that remix.
Okay.
Either way, I'm still glad that Sega and Sonic Team are now beginning to recognize more musicians from other sources of media and being able to collaborate with them as well. So hey, wanna have a track provided by Amy Jones? Or maybe Family Jewels or Toxic Eternity? So hey, wanna have a track provided by Amy Jones? Or maybe Family Jewels or Toxic Eternity?
Funny you should say
Or AC/DC! Had that and Megadeth, no. Metallica, Pantera. That should be a reunion type of band. Zach Wild, another example. That should be another example. Have that, you know? Continue on.
Because one of my favorite singers, Casey Lee Williams, performed a new song for Shadow Generations.
Oh, okay.
More accurately, the animation for it, Dark Beginnings, that song being titled Without You, which plays near the end of the animation.
Wow.
As a longtime fan of Ruby, this made me really happy, and I hope her voice becomes a mainstay for the Sonic franchise going forward. Same goes with Kellen Quinn. But
wow.
Back to the overall soundtrack, it sounds really good. It may not be my favorite overall soundtrack in the series, but it definitely has some really good hits. My favorites being Rail Canyon Act 1, the Doom version and Act 1 version of Radical Highway, and of course, the symphonic remix of All Hail Shadow. I still listen to these tracks even to this day. They're fantastic.
Wow.
So, now that you've finished this game almost an entire year after it already released, what did you think of Shadow Generations?
Well, what can I say, Seth? Even though I am late by 1 year,
Even though I did saw you play and all that, and wow. And it came out in 2024, to be honest. Let's continue on.
It's definitely worth the wait. This game is awesome!
Oh! Wow! So impressed. How will we come right back? Stand by. I'm back, folks. Sorry about that. I have to look at my video closely. Let's resume. Let's cool it off.
This is definitely one of these games that Sonic fans have been long waiting for. Everything from the graphics, the music, the gameplay, truly should have been Game of the Year. As previously mentioned, the graphics are incredible and the soundtrack is a joy to the ears of a Sonic fan. As to the overall gameplay, I like it. There are a few issues that I ran into here and there, like having the icon and white space being unclear sometimes. I also had a hard time understanding how Doom Morph works at times. But besides all of that, it still didn't hinder my overall experience with the game. It's still a fantastic game, and it's definitely a game I recommend to any Sonic fan or even a Shadow fan that wants to know about the true history of Shadow in a clear manner. Overall, Shadow Generations, oh what am I saying? Buy Sonic X Shadow Generations. I don't care if it's the standard version or the digital deluxe edition. It's definitely worth your time, effort, and money. Seriously, go buy this game. It's freaking amazing.
Okay. I haven't played a game, but I'll give it a chance. Let's continue on.
This is easily now my favorite Sonic game of all time. As I've said many times before, Shadow the Hedgehog is not just my favorite Sonic character, he's actually one of my top 3 favorite characters across all media. Need I remind you of all that Shadow the Hedgehog merchandise that I have and still counting up?
Go check out my reaction video to the Shadow the Hedgehog reaction on my Christmas special react episode 2024 edition. Let's continue on.
Generations is easily the coolest that Shadow has ever been in a video game from a gameplay perspective. I love his teleportation, his chaos control, his chaos sphere, and I even enjoy using his new Doom powers for this game.
Wow.
Just about every level is fun to play through, the music is really good, and it has a very good story. With all that said, however, I do have a very personal issue with the game's story, and it's the fact that Amy Rose is completely absent from Shadow Generations. Considering the fact that she played a major role in Shadow's character development back in Sonic Adventure 2, I think Sonic Team did us a huge disservice by not including her in Shadow Generations' story, because Amy was the one who reminded Shadow of his true promise to Maria, and I can see Amy quickly becoming fast friends with Maria. And before any of you say, but Amy was busy being part of Sonic Generations, so she possibly be around in Shadow Generations. That didn't stop Rouge the Bat from showing up during this game's story, considering...
Like Batman!
That didn't stop Rouge the Bat from showing up during this game's story, considering that she too was in Sonic Generations.
Yeah.
And because Rouge also makes a remark that reminded her of Amy Rose in an optional conversation, it just makes me wish that Amy was included even more. Another big missed opportunity has to do with Sonic X Shadow Generations. When the trailer for the game was first revealed, my first reaction was, yes, they're finally adding Shadow as a playable character to Sonic Generations. This is something I've been wanting since 2011. But then the game comes out.
Yeah, that was my struggle year, 2011. Continue on.
Shadow was only playable during his own campaign in his own levels. Why? Why can't I play as Shadow in all of Sonic's levels as well? That seriously would have helped with the game's replayability, which I think is extremely important for multiple repeated playthroughs. Because of this new game, once again limiting my options for multiple repeated playthroughs, I pretty much gave up on relying on the developer to always give me every possible option for replayability. And that's what convinced me to finally buy a gaming PC, because if the game's developed...
Wow, even though I'm a Mac person, sorry, because I always use Mac to make products for you guys. It was a good idea, but PC, I'll give that a chance if I would do, let's say, I'll play old PC gaming, that'll be good enough, but I'm with you, sir.
Won't give me every possible option for replayability, then the fans surely will, thanks to mods. This may be Shadow's best solo game by far, but I'm still going to revisit past Sonic games that Shadow is playable in just for the sake of running through a level I haven't revisited in a while. Yes, even the not-so-great games. I'm just happy to look at something different purely for the sake of breaking the monotony. But despite all of my personal needs for a video game to remain being interesting, this is still my favorite Sonic game purely because it's about my favorite Sonic character going through multiple different levels with multiple different pathways that can thankfully at least be accompanied by multiple different music tracks. Not to mention Shadow doing some of the coolest maneuvers I've ever seen him do in a Sonic game. If you're a Sonic fan and or Shadow fan but somehow still haven't played this yet, you are seriously missing out. Shadow Generations is...
Oh, wow. Yeah, I am missing out. But if they're coming out on the Switch too, I'm in. Continue on.
My personal game of the year for 2024, and I highly, highly, highly recommend playing this game as soon as possible. 1 year later, and this game still shows that Shadow truly is the ultimate life form. All hail Shadow.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Shadow! Continue on. Anyway.
Oh, that starts off another game off this channel. What can I say? Sonic is one of my all-time favorite video game franchises. And thanks, Dad, for joining me once again.
Yeah, no problem. Now, if you excuse me, I have to get back to playing Sonic Racing Cross Worlds on my PlayStation 5.
Oh, that's right! I forgot that game came out already. Well, with that being said, consider that a tease for another project of what's to come for the channel. I'm the Fairly Odd Gamer, and I wish you all good luck the rest of your day or night, wherever you are. Take care, everyone.
Wow, that was nice. The end.
Hey guys, Sonic here. Shadow may fly with wings, but I can still fly without him, right? Anyway, you can still support the channel either on YouTube or Patreon, like Luke Jeffers, Scarlet the Hedgehog, Johnny Gallagher, and Big Money 2112.
That was the Fairly Odd Gamer episode, Shadow Generation with 09. I'll let this play for a moment. Wow. Wow. That was nice. Wow, that was nice. Wow, that was nice. Wow! Okay. Yeah! Yeah! Okay. For real this time, so that was Shadow Generation with 09, episode 92 of Fairly Odd Gamer. What did I think about this episode? I think it was amazing. so far this episode was a success. Anyways, guys, that was LJPCBM episode 1774. Hope you enjoy it. Stay next going to be a brand episode of LJPCBM episode 1775, which will be about another Very OddGamer episode, which just came out recently, which will be about Alone in the Dark, featuring a brand new game reviewer, special guest in the Very OddGamer episode series. Till next time, so just by baby, go LJPCBM, so say out. See ya.
Given unto me this life I'll never take for granted, and given all the time I failed to really understand it, I never sought to meet the maker of reality, the one who gave the life that which is always happening, but I tried all the time. Why was I the one to see things as I do under the moonlight and the sun? Perception is the question and the giver holds the key, but the only worth I've ever found was in melody. I still try all the time.